my god, who's going?
Go!
I'm not transphobic, for the record.
Cafe.
Hola y'all, I'm Neha. I go to SSLA and I'm Mary's roommate.
Hi, I'm Nidhi.
I am Marianne. I'm a fourth year student.
I am Siddhartha and I am in the 4th year.
Hi, I'm Ashna. I'm in my 4th year at SSLA.
Hi, I'm Dhani.
Hi, I'm Vidhi and I'm a fourth year and I'm also Mary's roommate.
Hi, I'm Siddhant. I'm in my 4th year SSLA too.
My name is Ethan and I'm a 4th year student at SSLA.
I'm doing a double major in business and media.
I'm doing my major in international relations and a double minor in anthropology and media.
Majoring in psychology and minoring in media studies and business.
Doing a business major with psychology and media minor.
Doing an economics major with a psych and law minor.
Wow.
But what SSLA is that it has so many subjects, so you can kind of learn what you like.
Oh
and
yeah,
what
yeah,
you like.
no, true. So like, yeah.
Chicken fried rice.
Okay. It's a safe space for people to say anything they want to.
I think the best thing is that it's a very small community, so you end up building very close relationships with pretty much everyone. You tend to recognize people very easily, and I like that we're all very close, which is really nice.
For me, it's gonna be my friends that I made here.
Yeah, the locality, the friends, the sports, and the culture of our college.
I like that you can study anything under the sun. Like there's a variety of subjects and disciplines that are available, and you can study all of them. So the exposure to knowledge, I would say, is the best thing.
For me, I think it's the reaction I get out of people when I tell them what I'm studying. It's really funny. Nobody.
The college. For me, it's gonna be the curriculum.
Huge letdown would be our campus, not that big.
I think people here are a little bit extreme, which is not something that I was used to. So for those of you all watching, just be mentally prepared. People have very strong political views, and if you're not left on the left side of things, and if you're not used to certain things, then you might find it a little overwhelming, the pressure of being woke. So that's something that's been the worst for me in SSLAs.
I think for me, it's the classes are 2 hours long, and I find it hard to concentrate, but it's fine now.
The people.
They're a little sensitive. I mean, it's a liberal arts college, so you would expect people to be a little, woke, which is good, but also,
Like everything, I think. Okay, no, not everything.
There's a lack of accountability when it comes to our administration, so I think that's one of
What
the less bad parts about SSLA.
Like, that's not that bad. That's just I think it's the people. No, not the people. It's the place. It's
The people? You have us.
But I feel like there are more than just the world doesn't revolve around us.
Okay, thanks.
Personally, I feel like the curriculum and faculty could be better. I don't think there's anything horrible about SSLA. I think it's just that the faculty and curriculum is it's made in such a way where it's very difficult to find a career path right after college unless you're doing internships throughout your 4 years here.
We eat or we usually go to our apartment.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, they've made space for people to hang out. There's a lot of open spaces where they put tables and a lot of greenery, so the setting of it makes you be in a really good mood and you just be chilling.
So after college, we usually just hang out in the Simbi canteen. That's one of the places our friend group, my friend group, goes to most of the time. If it's not the Simbi canteen, we end up going to Cafe Peter. Is a good place to go to work.
This house.
I mean, yeah, classes, right after classes, we all sit in the cafeteria and then we come back to the apartment.
My house.
Go to place to hang out would be any cafe out here, our house, or the furthest sports field.
When do you go to cafes after classes?
So much where you don't even know.
I've never seen you in a cafe.
In the first year, it used to be those TT tables, but now it's either here, or my room.
For me, I think the first year also with the TT tables, but after that, for a short while, it was Tapri, and then eventually, like after college, hangout spots kind of faded away, so I just go back home.
There are a lot of places to party, but if you are in Simbi, and especially if you're located within Viman Nagar, you usually end up going to High Spirits most of the time. But other than High Spirits, there's a lot of other places to go to as well. You'll never really get tired of places to go out during the weekends here in Pune.
Yeah, because I have visit a bunch of places in Koregaon Park on my list before I graduate, and I feel like I'm not gonna finish it. So there are a lot.
Yeah, I think Viman Nagar has quite a lot of places, especially food oriented stuff. But at the same time, a lot of the morning breakfast oriented options here are really limited. So the hangouts are mostly evening oriented in my opinion.
Yeah, there are. I mean, Viman is loaded with small outlets that you can go to eat. And it's quite close to Koregaon Park.
So Viman has KP, Koregaon Park and Kalyani, which has a lot of cafes, a lot of clubs, and a lot of places you can hang out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it depends what kind of vibe you want. Obviously, High Spirits, that's one place that people really like to go to because the crowd itself is very controlled. So the music and it's really for college students. That's nice. But if you want to go to a fancier place,
We go to Black.
Yeah.
Pune is, I mean, all said and done, the best place to have a college life. We have High Spirits, we have Toyd, we have Elephant & Co, we have 2BHK, we have so many Black, Daily All Day.
Yeah.
I mean, Dhwani's from Pune to be
Yeah.
fair, so she already knew. For me, I discovered all of
Yeah.
these places when I came here.
I've liked my class timings because it's not overloaded on some days, so that's fine. It's a perfect balance.
Class timings would be very it's a big play of chance because it might be in the 7:30 in the morning or a 5 to 7 depending on your schedule. It's not a fixed timing, so you might get lucky sometimes and sometimes you're unlucky.
I have 7:30s this sem, so literally I haven't been going out and I'm usually done. I have 2 classes a day, but one of my classes online. So 3 times a week I only have a 7:30 which I have to wake up for. Plus Mary, who is my roommate, is also my captain. And she wakes me up for morning practice and I have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning.
Me is the opposite. I have more 5 to 7 p.m. classes. So I'm sleeping like a donkey in the morning and then I wake up and I just have my little chai or whatever and then I go to class at night.
I don't mind them. I like 7:30 a.m. classes. I don't think I'm fond of the 5 to 7 timings. I think that's way too much. I think the last class should be at 2:45. But I like the 7:30 a.m. timings. I have had a good experience. So
Yeah, I have to agree with her. I feel like I have 7:30s every day this semester, and in the beginning it's hard to get used to it, but that really sets the tone for your day. But I hate that we don't have a fixed class timing, so certain days are completely free and certain days are super packed.
No, that is the best part about SSLA actually. Those are pretty good. I just for example, I like that I have only one class on most days. On Wednesday I have 3. Tuesday I have 3.
SLA's timetable is very anarchic, so it can work in your favor where you have convenient class timings, but because there are so many courses, sometimes the class timings are 7 o'clock one morning, one class, and then 2:45 another class, and then 5 to 7 another class, so you're kind of just busy oscillating between college and home.
So it really depends. In my first year, it wasn't too bad. As far as I remember, it actually wasn't that bad. It was pretty evened out. This year, this semester also, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It really depends on which majors and minors you take. Some majors or minors end up having 7:30 a.m. classes, but others have evening classes from 5 to 7.
I wanted to say mixed bag, but come to think of it, we've had pretty good faculty.
Yeah. No.
I have had really good teachers. Teachers are damn understanding. Like that's just something that you will not see at another college.
Yeah.
The teachers here are really understanding. They're communicative. Everyone is very, very well qualified. See, of course, it's a college, so there's the off chance that you might get a teacher that you don't like. But I don't think you can. None of us can say that there was a teacher that was underqualified at SSLA or didn't know what they were talking about. So yeah, I've had a pretty good experience with the faculty here.
Yeah, same. Like, and I especially think this semester, like it's our last semester, and I think I'm enjoying with every single faculty of mine.
I like the newer professors, but I don't
Okay.
like the psych professors. I don't like. I can name who I like, and I can't name who I don't like because there's so many.
Okay.
I think faculty is very hit or miss. Like I've had some faculty which like really made like my time here very meaningful. But at the same time, I'd say there's a lot more to be done here when it comes to faculty.
Faculty is very dependent on the majors and minors you take. So, for example, in psychology, a lot of people apply to SIMBI because of their psych program, and especially since it's a 4-year course. A word of advice for you guys, if you're planning on coming in with a lot of interest in psych and you have a bit of background in psych, it's okay to take psych. But if you don't really have much of a background, the faculty doesn't really make it better for you. There are faculty members that are a little bit better than the others, but there are some that are absolute shit. But at the same time, business has a lot of good faculty members, so does media. Overall, I would say it's average. I don't think it's the best, but it's definitely not the worst.
Depends, to be honest. Like some of them are really nice, some of them are like mediocre, and some of them are like a little annoying. But like the thing is, there's a lot of visiting faculty in SSLA, so you never know. You just sometimes like go by luck.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you luck out with a good teacher, sometimes you just get a terrible.
Yeah, like some of the teachers are really, really qualified. They've taught abroad at really good universities. There's teachers from like DePaul and other universities. A lot of them have PhDs and everything. So it really depends on like the major that you go into.
I've liked my faculty, so like whatever subjects I've had, business, psych and media, I've liked it. Psych not that much, but I think my elective professors are really nice, so that kind of covered up.
So faculty, I say, would be like average, not the best, not the worst, but like some faculties are really great at what they do. So yeah.
The SSLA girls teams are like
Thank you.
amazing. Like Mary and I are part of the volleyball team, and we actually won 2nd place in the last tournament that we played in. All of our clubs are student based. Like there's no like teacher to really guide us, so we go by like, you know, what we can do, what our seniors have taught us, and what like our seniors have like had a trial and error method of like what worked for them in like different fests and how it like people like to get people engaged, and we learn from them.
And Damascus is a very happening place. Like we have a lot of fests coming up, like she said, for sports. So even for like the clubs, they perform a lot, and there's a lot of encouragement from faculty and students and whatnot.
So clubs are most of them are dead. Most of the clubs that people signed up for, they no longer have meetings and stuff.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not a big participant in the sports or club culture, so I can't really comment much.
Sports for girls is really good. So all our teams, we've been lucky. We've got good players who played before, so that was an advantage for us.
The boys sports team is not the best, but we do have a lot of fun while practicing and playing. And the clubs have been really good. They've been active. They do a lot of events. When the events happen, they do a lot of performances. They meet up and have a lot of fun too.
Honestly, attending sports and all of the culture over there, it's like really, really nice. I do think for sports, they need a lot more equipment. They need a lot more funding and resources. Sports is not given enough importance to an SSLA compared to another SIMBI college. When it comes to clubs, I was heading the business magazine for SSLA, which is The Opportunist, and I have had the best time doing it. I also was part of the fundraiser in college, so I've had a really good experience with the cells and clubs. I was very, very involved with the publication in SSLA.
I think because of the pandemic, unfortunately, we missed out on a lot of the experiences. But I remember my first year, I had an absolute blast. They have like a club for anything and everything, and the best part is if you feel like it isn't there, you can start one. And the administration is really easy. It's not really a tough thing to go and start a new club. So I feel that's really amazing, and everything is student run. So you really learn a lot through the process.
Sports are really, really good. So it depends on how much of an interest and passion you have towards the sports, because there are no coaches to guide you for any of the sports teams that are there. So the captain and the vice captain is the one who manages the entire team, and you have to make sure there are practices going on. You need to sign up for the fest and everything like that. So sports are really good if the vice captain and the captain have that passion, and the players have the passion. If you have a really, really avid interest in a specific sports, then you can definitely make it. And you can also form your own sports team if you have any sort of interest in a different sports that is not formed within SSLA. Same thing goes for clubs and cells as well.
I stayed in the hostel. Yeah, Dhwani is from Pune, as we said. I loved being in the hostel. I understand that for some people it's restrictive, and yeah, after a while it is. But honestly, Mary was my roommate, and we have had the best time in the hostel. Our rooms were really nice and clean. The mess was really, really nice. We had eggs every Sunday. Like, I had a blast, honestly. I would say first year, go for the hostel. You will make friends for life.
Hostel, I mean, it's really strict. I mean, like, it can be good for some people, but it is really strict. It's very basic. It's very minimalist. And Symbiosis in general, it's not a very fancy college. Like the education is good, but it's a very minimalist hostel, and the vibe is nice. Like, you know, there's students from all different semesters living together, so you get to meet a lot of people that way. But it's
For me, I had a really good experience because I really liked our hostel. Like, there were 2 hostels that SSLA girls can go into. So we got into the other one. Neha and I were in the same hostel. That's how we met. Like, we became close. And so most of the SSLA girls in first year were in the other hostel, and we were stuck in our hostel. But our hostel had like 2 dogs, and they had like snacks, and they had like their own cafe coffee day inside.
And
swings and a garden. And we luckily had a very lax hostel life. Like, we used to go out every night. We used to come back in the middle of the night and never get told about it. It's just the main part is like the roommate issue. I think like I lucked out with my roommates, but Neha on the other hand had the worst experience with her roommate.
I have an AC which I can turn on 24/7, so that's pretty good. I think roommates are very hit or miss. And yeah, but besides that, I have a working AC, which is kind of good.
So for me, my first year hostel experience was really good because I was at a hostel which is not really affiliated with my college. So I had a lot of people from various different colleges around the area. So there were a lot of people who came with like a lot of different experiences. So my hostel life was like very fun, very active, and there was a lot of people who I learned a lot from.
He's plugging Kazi, so then just go to Kazi then, if it's so good.
I don't stay in the hostel currently. I am in an apartment, but I stayed in a hostel in the first year, and it was really fun. Personally, I had a good time. Yeah, the timings are strict, and you need to get, permission from your parents to go out, and they need to send an email. There's a bunch of stuff like that, but I think that's just regular hostel rules, to be honest. I don't think they were putting anything that was out of the blue. Yeah, but I liked my time in the hostel.
My first year I stayed in the F wing, that is the hostel given by college, and I hated my experience. It was really bad because our curfew was at 9 p.m. and they were really strict with attendance and night outs and stuff, so I did not enjoy it. Although I made a couple of friends.
I lived in a PG which was outside college, like not a part of the college, where I met a lot of amazing people, I had a lot of fun there. It had restrictions like curfew and whatever, but it was a lot of fun nevertheless.
This is too bad. I think this is like SSLA's worst thing. Because, for example, if you pick business as a major, you're doing like maybe half or a quarter of what BBA would do, and so you don't have that depth. But instead, it's SSLA, like they spread out their stuff, so you do a lot of things, but I think it's just surface level. You don't really go into depth in anything. So I think that's pretty bad.
I also feel like a lot of our courses, especially when it comes to our majors, they are not part of some like larger plan to create like a cohesive body of knowledge in the student. It's more like they just put up courses and they don't really see how it relates to the previous course per se. Like I'm an IR major, and we ended up having almost 3 different courses on UN over like our 3 years of studying IR, and that was so unnecessary. For the last one, we had to like tell the administration like we don't want to do this course, so they changed the course. So I just feel like when they're planning on the overall structure of the course, it's kind of, I don't know what they're thinking. Really, it should be more better planned.
Curriculum as from a practical point of view, if you're taking subjects like economics, business, etc., might not be the best fit for you. You might want to go for a more focused degree. But if you're taking subjects like psychology or IR or sociology, the research, the amount of research we do, the research we learn is really good.
For me, I think, like you mentioned, so business and all, I don't think the curriculum is the best because it's very surface level, like whatever papers they're teaching us. So maybe they could focus more on the depth of at least your majors, if not the minors. But electives are really, really good. Like I've enjoyed my electives throughout my 4 years.
Can be tough because there's a lot of research papers that you need to write and focus on. But so if you're like not into research papers, it's going to be a little taxing because that's majority of what is expected of you. But otherwise the curriculum is pretty decent. It's not so hectic. First year might seem a little hectic because a lot of y'all won't know how to do academic writing per se. But after you've cracked how to do academic writing, you're gonna be good for the rest of your 4 years. It'll be hectic as and when it needs to be.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I think that it is a very theory-heavy degree. If you feel like you can handle theory and you're curious about a lot of things in general, and something really important about this SSLA's curriculum is that you need to know a lot about a lot of things because it's interdisciplinary. So you can, use different subjects or theory into each other. So you really need to know how to like put things together and generally just read the news, read a lot, be up to date with a lot of things, and use it.
The curriculum isn't bad. You have to do internships and community programs. You also have seminar and dissertation papers in your 4th year as well. So towards the 4th year, it gets really, really hectic. But in the 1st year, and even in the 2nd year, it's very lax. I would say just make sure you do your research and make sure you look up everything in the SSLA website and make sure you go through the curriculum because they give those out to you in the website so that you have a better understanding of what SSLA provides for you, and then make a decision. Don't just go for SSLA just because it's a liberal arts college. Make sure you do your research. For me personally, it's a little bit stringent and very controlling, so that's why I didn't necessarily like it, but maybe it works for you.
For the people who are applying to SSLA, I would say if you are interested in research and learning soft skills, which is in high demand right now, SSLA is the perfect place for you. The soft skill learning is really, really good, as in really, really good. And if you want to get into academics or think tanks or research, SSLA is a great place to be. But if you are more of a practical person who wants more quantitative, more business-oriented courses, SSLA might not be the best fit for you.
For me, I think like if you want a really easy transition from school to workspace, then I think SSLA would be a good option for you because it gives you soft skills like you mentioned, and it also gives you like a chance to shape yourself, like your personality, and figure out what you want to do. So if you're confused after 12th, I think SSLA would be a good option, or any other liberal arts college. But for a practical career or for something that you've decided after 12th, I don't think this will be a good option.
Do your research. Please do your research. Like I've met so many people who have regretted their decision of what major minor they want to take. Like at first you might think of something, but then like, you know, it really changes after a while. So make sure you see if the faculty's good, like make sure you check each course and see if that's what you want to do.
When she says do your research, like you also need to look at what is like what you want to do in the future in a way. Like if you're not sure, take options that are more like, you know, have more chances of you getting a job. Like I know a lot of people who took like majors like philosophy and stuff like that, and then they can't do like, you know, things that can, you know, make them economically stable in the future. Do a lot of internships during your time. Like I didn't, but like try exploring different things before your first year, because it gets really hectic. So first year, I know you want to make a lot of experiences, but I'd like recommend like actually like talking to a lot of seniors and talking to people, you know, who go to liberal arts and asking them if it is a good option for you to come here.
I would say definitely do your research. You need to look into the website, look into like you guys are watching this video, making sure that you get opinions from different people, getting in touch with other colleges. I know liberal arts is a very new concept here in India, so people are drawn to that, but you also need to know what you're interested in. And I think that's the one thing that's good about SSLA is that you can try a variety of different, there are a lot of different options that you can try out. And so usually you end up getting drawn towards a subject in your first or second year, but then towards the end of your fourth year, you're drawn to a completely different subject. And SSLA makes you realize that, and you grow out of your comfort zone that you were in your first year, which is really nice. Definitely before making sure that you've accepted the application for SSLA, make sure this is really what you want and you're interested in trying out new subjects and not being very adamant on one specific subject. Just keep an open mind, basically.
I think SL is a pretty decent place to apply, especially if after your 12th you're kind of confused about like what you want to do. If you have 2-3 subjects in mind that probably interest you, that'll be a good pick, because I came to SLA to study psychology and I applied to a lot of dedicated psych courses around the country, and I didn't go for those, and I got into SLA, and I realized I didn't like psych wasn't my main interest, and I found international relations, and that wouldn't have happened if I joined the curriculum which kind of locked me into like a certain set of subjects.
No.
You don't?
All said and done, there's no. Like I was thinking about this, it's so funny because yeah, I do think I'm gonna take over my family business. So I do think that I could have benefited maybe on paper more with a degree from a business college. But there is no denying that the amount of knowledge you accumulate as a liberal arts student cannot be replaced. Like yeah, I could have gotten a business degree, but the truth is just a business degree is no longer enough in a cutthroat world that we live in. So I have recently realized that probably going to SSLA is the right thing that happened, at least for me, because now I know a bunch of everything.
Yeah. And I feel like you shouldn't think your undergraduate degree, like don't take it that seriously. A lot of people don't end up doing what they do in their undergrad, and if you're doing liberal arts, you're already learning a lot about a lot of things, and something or the other is going to come in handy for sure later on. So I think it is your best.
I'm not sure. Yes and no. Yes, because I could have done something better in lesser time and something that would have helped me in my career. And no, because I've had an amazing time here and I've made some nice memories. So I think it's good.
No, I don't regret applying to SSLA at all. I know it has its own faults and things that they lack, but I definitely think that I did make the right choice. It's not just about the college curriculum or the college lifestyle that's within the community. It's also about Pune. It's all about the culture that you're surrounded by, the friends that you have. All of that is very important as well. So if you take that into account as well, I definitely do not regret applying to SSLA. It opens your eyes and it educates you on a lot of topics that you never thought you would learn in the 4 years you're here. So I do not regret applying to SSLA.
Yeah, because placements are really bad. So I feel like, and they don't like help you with anything really, like placement wise, career wise. So I feel like that is the biggest regret. I wouldn't have minded, all of the like the liberal arts stuff if they had at least helped me get a job after.
I personally do not regret joining SLA because I found my subject of interest here, which I also plan on taking forward. And I didn't even know 2 of the subjects that I study really well before I joined. So opening up 2 new disciplines for me out of nowhere, like that to me is something I couldn't have gotten maybe outside of SLA or like other liberal arts programs. So yeah, and I'm pretty happy with a lot of the work I've done here, so I'd say SLA is a good choice.
I mean, now that I know what I want to do, I think another course would have been better because I want to go into fashion marketing, and SSLA does not have courses for fashion. But overall, it's not just the education in a way, it's also like the growth that I've had as like in my personality. Like the people I've met some of the most amazing and talented individuals here, and they've really helped me grow and learn from them. And I think those are the experiences I'm gonna take, and they help me and they motivate me every single day to do better. So yeah,
I agree as well. Like me coming as an NRI especially, like it was a huge culture shock, but SSLA supported me, helped me grow. Just it changed my perspective in life, how I see society in general. So yeah, it really helped. Obviously so for me, I took sociology as my major, which is obviously, like she said, economically very not really sustainable, but it really helped me grow as a person. So it really depends on what you want.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
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 Say like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.